in color, the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord. Peyton Place is brought to you by
Peyton Place Square is a crossroads. On the one side, it's the only logical place for a new mother like Constance Mackenzie Carson to show her new baby. For Constance, this presentation of Matthew Carson has added meaning. It is a time to put aside the despair caused by the disappearance of her grown daughter, Allison. And it is a time to put aside the tragedy of Anne Howard's death, the subject of a preliminary hearing on the other side of the square, and to put aside the sudden entrance into her life of a young girl, Rachel Wells, whom her husband believes has knowledge of Allison. But today is Matthew's day.
I saw you coming. Hi there, grandson. Is this his first trip downtown?
He's traveling first class, thanks to you.
All right. Now, I want you to come over to the bandstand so I can take your picture.
Oh, Eli.
I'll get Daddy. Hey, Elliot, come out here a minute. All right, now, he's coming. Here we go. Oh. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.
Mr. Carson, you're holding up the traffic.
Well, sure I am. For my grandson. Hold it now. All right. Hi there, Matthew.
I get it.
You know, this white bandstand will make a nice contrast to the color. There'll be good shadows, too.
When did you get to be such an artist with a camera?
Ever since I found a subject that's worth the film. Now, let me place the buggy, please. There we go. Round and round. Yeah. Now we can get you. And Constance, I'd like you right here. Yeah. Now, let me see. Newton, you go play on the other side of the park. Go on now.
That's the bad side.
It's a public park, Dad.
Elliot, I want you on Constance's left, behind the buggy there.
Okay, Newton, we'll take your picture a little later, all right?
Okay.
Elliot.
You can't push kids around like that, Dad. They've got some rights, you know.
I want you on Constance's left.
All right, all right, all right. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
There we go, Matthew. Smile now, smile. I suppose you're looking as pleasant as possible, son.
I am.
You ought to get more sleep. I can see the bags under your eyes clear from here.
Dad, all right, take the picture, will you?
All right, now. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. I want to get one more. All right, now. 1, 2, 3. Smile. There we are. All right. Now, I want one more of the three of you, and then I want some of Matthew alone.
Hannah Cord is the last witness for the defense. Stephen will probably try to crack her to prove his suicide theory. When he first tries to lead the witness, object.
Yes?
I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Fowler, but Mr. Chandler's here to see you.
I'll tell him I can't see him now, Marianne. I have to go to court. Make an appointment for him tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Clear to the judge and the press that for just such behavior, Stephen's already been found in contempt. Then avoid interruptions. They lose votes.
What is it?
Mr. Chandler says it's very urgent and it'll only take a second. He says he won't leave until he sees you.
I'll send him in. Couldn't you wait till this afternoon, Mr. Chandler?
If I had to, sure.
Well, shut the door. Let's get it over with.
I came to ask you to arrange for me to meet Rachel. I really got to talk to her, Mr. Fowler, to straighten things out. To find out how she feels about coming home. She's my niece, sir. I got a right.
Not as long as she's still in the hospital.
Then bring her here.
Pardon?
I'll talk to her here. I'd just soon stay out of that hospital, Mr. Fowler. To be honest, I'm liable to punch that doctor, you know. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to cause any trouble, but I got to see my niece.
Well, I'll think about it.
That Dr. Rossi couldn't object to my seeing her here. I'm not going to kidnap her out of a police station.
Oh, this is getting to be ridiculous.
For me to want to talk to her, Mr. Fowler? I'm the only living relative the girl's got.
Well, I'll see what I can do, Mr. Chandler.
Thank you. I sure do appreciate it.
I'm not making any promises, you understand. My secretary will be in touch with you.
I'll wait.
I may not be able to reach Dr. Rossi right away, you know.
I got time. It won't bother you, will it, if I wait outside?
No, I suppose not. Well, Marianne, get me Dr. Rossi at the hospital.
Yes, sir.
Did you point me to the nearest barber shop, miss?
Oh, 2 blocks to your right, 1 to your left.
Thanks.
Dr. Rossi, please.
Betty? Betty?
Yes.
Have you seen my wristwatch? I can't find it anywhere.
Have you looked on your wrist? Stephen,
Did you find it?
right where you left it when you went to sleep on the couch last night.
Oh, it was late. By the time I finished going over my notes, it was late and I was tired, so...
Stephen,
Yes?
I'm glad this day has finally come.
Yes.
By the end of the day, one way or the other, it'll all be over.
That sounds simple.
It is that simple.
Are you saying it doesn't matter?
I'm saying that the moment it's over, your life can begin.
Even if the decision goes against me?
Yes. Darling, there'll be no place to go but straight ahead.
Must be nice to be detached from reality.
I am talking about reality. Once and for all, you'll be rid of that weight you've been carrying around.
You think it's going to stop just like that?
Of course, why not?
I can't control it, Betty. I've never been able to control it.
Stephen, what you had to say to Martin Peyton injured your prestige and your pride. But you said it, you got it out of your system. Now, what you say to your mother today will be just as costly. But then that'll be over and done with, too.
Almost 30 years of resentment?
Stephen, you can control it. You must. Oh. Darling, we can begin this afternoon. We can get a house of our own. We can live our own lives. That's what's important, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't sound very convincing. Oh, Stephen. We can get a house and we can pick out the kind of furniture that we want. And it won't look anything like that heavy brooding furniture in the Peyton house.
Betty.
Like that ugly statue in the entry hall. I always hated that. But once we can discover what we want, what we like, who we are.
Betty, I wish it was as easy as picking out furniture, but it isn't.
Well, it's up to you, Stephen. If you won't make our lives and the things we do more important than anything else or anyone else, then...
Don't think you're aware of how foolish you sound.
Oh, Stephen.
Look, Betty, if I'm lucky, if I'm successful in court, I'm going to show that my mother could push another human being so far. She took her own life. Figuratively or literally pushed her over the edge. Now, that's what I'm dressed for today. That's the occasion. That's what I've been waiting patiently to do since I took Lee Weber's case. To question my mother. To question her and question her until she breaks into 1,000 pieces. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I hear it, Stephen. But once you break your mother into 1,000 little pieces, what then? What else will break?
What else?
What else? It's not only going to be your mother who's broken. We're going to have to put all those thousands of little pieces together again.
Well, will you help me?
When you pounded your mother today, you're going to feel every blow yourself.
Will you help me afterwards?
Will you help me, Stephen? Because I'm going to feel every blow, too, so will you help me afterwards?
You look so good in this house. I'm sorry we have to leave.
Oh, I was never comfortable in it. Not really.
How much longer are you going to be, Rod?
Just another minute. Good, you're both here. I left messages all over the campus for you. How are you, son?
Fine, Dad. What's up?
I think we should all go to court together. We're a family, so we should go together.
What's the point?
I think the occasion calls for us to make an appearance as a family.
The occasion?
Whatever you want to call it. I think we have a general idea of what's going to happen today. Martin Peyton's name is going to be smeared.
Are you concerned, Dad?
I pity him, yes.
And you think if we go to court as a family, we'll prove to the town and Martin Peyton that we're united against him, right?
Rod.
Well, that's all the reason for the togetherness, isn't it?
Are you afraid your grandfather will think less of you if he sees you sitting next to me in court?
Are you testing me, Dad?
You have to admit, Dad, that it's not very often we have the honor of your company.
Well, I'm not going to force you to go with me, and I certainly am not going to apologize for making a simple request.
Listen, Dad, I'll tell you something. I will go with you. But I want you to know one thing. I'm not taking any sides against my grandfather.
All right, I understand, Rod. Norman?
Sure, I'll go. But it's kind of strange. I mean, with Hannah being on the witness stand and her son Stephen asking all the questions, and here we are going together. It's kind of like we're going to a funeral.
Maybe Martin Peyton's. Let's go, please.